Yo, I got some cookies for you if you want some.
Eh,
You good, bro?
kinda.
Kinda. Fuck, kinda. You sure?
No.
What's wrong? Oh, I get it. You know how to end the skip?
No.
Okay.
Nowhere else to go, kiss me through the scope. Nowhere else to go, kiss me through the scope.
This sure is an Adele song, I'll say that. This song is weirdly empty. Like, this is such a weak Neptune's beat and Pharrell feature. I was really expecting more out of this. This song's great, but the lyrics admittedly make me wonder if brakence is okay.
Whoa! He's back, baby! Let's go!
This shit's really fucking good. It kinda sounds like LVL Part 2, which is weird because it's being released on an album that came out before LVL, so my analogy doesn't really make sense anymore. This is one of my favorite trap songs, maybe songs in general, of the year. Yeat's inflections on this song are so fucking weird. I love it so much. I mean, it's not as bad as the first Venom song. Also, I don't understand how Eminem's features keep getting mixed so shittily. I really love how different the song is from anything that was on for the first time. Plus, the chorus is so fucking good. This song's just really fun. I really like the pitched up vocals on the hook. It's really catchy. This is fine. I don't really see the overwhelming hype for this song, sadly. And I guess I'm just not gay enough or something. This shit's just classic Conway doing his thing over an Alchemist beat. You can't really go wrong with that. I think Bobby has been having a really disappointing comeback music-wise. This and that freestyle he put out a little bit ago are so weak compared to what was on Shmurda She Wrote. You have no idea how relieving it was to press play on this for the first time and hear that G-Funk type sound. This is such YG's lane. I guess I like the switch up at the end a little bit. This song is so fucking fun. The beat mixed with SoFaygo's energy is such a great match. Oh, she's going mainstream. No! I can't help but be a little disappointed in this one. I'm kind of going against what I just did with the Charli review, but I think a lot of the songs on here are a bit too bland for me. There's definitely some great songs on here, but this is nowhere near Poppy's best. Probably the most beautiful instrumentals I've heard on a rap album this year. Simz rapping on this is nothing short of immaculate. And I love the risks she took on this album. This is definitely up there for some of the best of the year. I think Keem definitely solidified his own style of making music on this album. I love how fun a lot of these songs are, and the more serious and slower type songs are really fucking good as well. It's kind of obvious, but the last part of Range Brothers puts a shit-eating grin on my face every time I hear it. Not really one of my favorite albums to come out of Bruiser Brigade this year, but Quentin definitely does have some potential. God, Yebba's voice is so powerful. I think a collaboration between her and Adele would actually shatter my heart. This album, plainly put, is so fucking amazing. I really can't put into words what this album sounds like, but I can say that Richie's performances on this are so emotional and impactful. I love this album so fucking much. Rest in peace, Grogs. The album itself is just some pretty good metalcore, but I'm putting this in the video because I love the cover art. It's so fucking good. I like this album as a statement of who Lil Nas X is more than just an album. While I do like it, I don't think Lil Nas has fully reached his potential yet, but I'm excited for whatever he does in the future. Unlike Boosie. I love how on every project Dos Monos just continue to reinvent themselves. They're definitely one of the most interesting rap groups out right now. While I love Alchemist's production so fucking much, I think the true standout on this EP is actually Mozzy. You can just hear the emotion pouring out consistently on his verse. It's probably the best thing I've ever heard from him. Also, Bruiser Wolf just kills it on his verse as usual. Quinn has always struck out to me as one of the more unique and creative people in the quote-unquote hyper-pop scene, and this album just amplifies that. But while I'm very impressed with this album, I do think that a good bit of songs on here could have been fleshed out some more. I'm definitely looking forward to whatever her next project is. I can't really talk about the soundtrack to this game without talking about the game itself. Chapter 2 was definitely worth the wait. It's so fun and consistently made me laugh out loud as I was playing it. I love the darker direction that Toby's taking deltarune towards, and I really can't wait for the next chapters. Also, the Queen is such a goated character. This album's so interesting to listen to, whether it's More Mother's lyrics and delivery or the weird production. Also, some songs on here make me wonder what a More Mother and Flying Lotus collab would sound like. It took a couple listens of side A for me to fully appreciate what it's doing, but I definitely like side B more. Gun's curation on side B, whether it be the instrumentals or features, is so good and definitely one of his best projects. And yes, I have listened to both sides back to back as one album, and it's still pretty good that way as well. I like this album a good bit. It's pretty consistent for the most part, and that's all I can really ask for out of an hour and 26-minute Drake album. Plus, Way Too Sexy is such a stupidly fun song. This album is really calming and some pretty good homework music. Take that from experience. This album's pretty good, but I'm really surprised it didn't give me fucking tinnitus. Jesus Christ. This shit is so fucking hard. The production on this is so bubbly and insane, and Midwest's delivery is so fun. While this is not my favorite James Blake album, I still like it a lot. I don't know how I couldn't. It's so delightful to listen to, even if sometimes the lyrics aren't. Plus, Frozen is such a fucking insane song. Wiki has always proved that he can rap really well, but holy shit does he show off on this album. His passive-aggressively calm delivery fits so well with Navy Blues production. This album is kind of like the definition of when an old head says a tape is dope. This album feels like when you have one of those nights where you wake up and fall asleep for like half an hour constantly throughout the night. It's so all over the place and disjointed in a good way, unlike a sleepless night. Plus, the way Peggy incorporates some of the samples on here is pretty different from what he normally does. It's a very interesting album from him. This is pretty solid. I think Don can do a lot better than what he's doing on this, so I'm just kind of looking forward to the next project. I love the direction that Ugly Mane went with this album. There's so many songs that I just adore, especially the ones that have like a passive-aggressive energy to them. To be honest, I'm still geeking out that we got an actual album from this dude after all this time. I'm a little disappointed in this. I think Zach has made some funnier standalone singles than most of the stuff on this project, but I still like it. Also, it's so surreal that there's a fucking Alchemist beat on this. She's definitely solidified her sound on this project. I just want her to do more with it. There's some really good, catchy pop songs on this album. That's about it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty disappointed in this album. I appreciate the sound that Thug was going for, but towards the second half of the album, it just gets so repetitive. Plus, the mixing on some songs on here is just terrible. And I don't usually really care about that type of thing, but sometimes it really distracted me. This album is definitely chill like Mick's other works, but sometimes it's a bit too chill in a bad way. I couldn't really get into some of the tracks on here, sadly. Damn, this project is kind of underwhelming for me. After such a project like Rainbow Bridge 3, I kind of wanted Cemetery to push the barriers of his already unique sound more, so I am a little disappointed to see him do the same stuff again. I like the project as a whole, but it is one of my least favorite Cemetery tapes. This is a solid jazz album. Bad, Bad, Not Good are typically good at that, and they did it again. I don't have much to say about this. This is one of my favorite trap albums of the year. I love Yeat's voice, his choruses, and the production choices are really good. I will admit that it's a little bit too long, but I can forgive it personally. I fucking hate the British. It's nice to see Maxo mature a bit on this album. Even if it's not my favorite thing I've heard this year, I like it a good bit. The most interesting thing about this album was the fucking trap beat that came out of nowhere on the interlude. I'm gonna try to review this without saying the word beautiful. Alright. This shit is fucking beautiful.